We continue our reading of Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus, an invitation to spend a year with your best friend, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, September 21, The Twisted Kiss. And while he was still speaking, behold, Judas, one of the 12, with a great multitude, with swords and clubs, came from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now his betrayer had given them a sign, saying, "Whomever I kiss, he is the one. Seize him." Immediately he went up to Jesus and said, "Greetings, Rabbi," and kissed him. Matthew 26:47-49. Why the kiss? Did the Jewish leaders of the temple police really need to have Jesus pointed out to them? It would be incredible if the temple police and the others in the crowd couldn't identify the man who only days before had cleansed the temple and driven out the money changers. And how could they not know by sight a person who had taught daily in the temple courts? The last thing they needed was an identification of Jesus. They were all too well aware of who he was and what he looked like. What they required was not identification, but a convenient and safe place, given the crowds in Jerusalem for Passover and Jesus' popularity, to arrest him. And that is what Judas had already provided them with. Then why the kiss? The text itself may hint at the reason through the Greek words rendered into English as kiss. In verse 48, Judas employs phileo, the normal word for kiss, as a sign that he would use to identify Jesus. But when it comes to the actual kiss in verse 49, the Greek is kataphileo, which notes, William Barclay, is the word for a lover's kiss, and which means to kiss repeatedly, passionately, fervently. Why the change of words? Because the sign of the kiss was not primarily for identity. If that had been the only reason, the kiss would have merely been an indication of hypocrisy. But there appears to be something deeper in the twisted heart of Judas. His kiss was like that of a disciple who truly loved his master. Apparently, Judas expected the occasion to stimulate Jesus to demonstrate his messianic power and authority. But it didn't work out that way, and the disillusioned Judas vanishes from the story until his suicide. He apparently can't even be located as a witness against Jesus during his trial. Judas had tried to force Jesus to use his approach, but all he ended up with was utter disillusionment. How important that each of us seek to carry out God's word, his way, rather than our own. No matter how dedicated we are, if we are on our own path to success, it is the wrong road. This concludes our reading today of Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus.